breaking news.
Breaking news at 5:30. The first lawsuit filed after 8 people died at the Astroworld Festival late Friday night. The lawsuit, filed by a Harris County man named Manuel Souza, says Souza suffered serious bodily injuries after he was trampled. A number of entities are named in the lawsuit, including Live Nation, who was responsible for security at the festival, and the performer Travis Scott himself. The lawsuit claims those responsible for the festival were negligent. The suit seeks at least $1 million in damages. And we have confirmed the names of 7 of the fans who lost their lives at that concert. Axel Acosta was 21 years old. His family tells us he was in school to study computer science. Danish Bag was 27 years old. His brother released a statement saying Danish's fiancée fell during the stampede and he was trampled trying to save her. John Hilgert was 16 years old. Spring Branch ISD says he was a 9th grader at Memorial High School. Jacob Juranek was a 21-year-old from Chicago. His family says he was a junior at Southern Illinois Carbondale, pursuing his passion for art and media. Franco Patino was 21 years old. The University of Dayton in Ohio student says he was a senior from Illinois studying mechanical engineering. And Brianna Rodriguez, 16 years old. Her aunt tells us she was a junior at Heights High School and had a passion for dancing. And the family of Rudy Pena tells us he was 23 years old and from Laredo. There is still, one more victim who's not yet been publicly identified. Well, we've learned more about one of those victims, 21-year-old Axel Acosta from Washington State. His family says he did not return to his hotel room after going to Astroworld on Friday. ABC13 reporter Roxy Bustamante has been following this story, and she joins us live with more tonight. Roxy?
Tom, when I spoke with Axel Acosta's father this morning, you could hear the pain and heartbreak in his voice and also frustration. He told me that he had been trying to contact police and also even our station just to identify his son. Now, Axel Acosta turned just 21 last month, and his father, Edgar, says his son was going to school at Western Washington University for computer science. His aunt also told me that this is the first time that he had ever gone to an event like this before. Authorities had released his picture, if you may remember, trying to find his family, and Acosta's father says that he tried to file a missing persons report, but that police would not allow him since he was out of state in Washington. So a roommate tried to help and step in. Now, here at the makeshift memorial, I've run into other people who were there at the concert Friday night, and they say they just wanted to pay their respects.
Our hearts go out to like his parents and his family, and everybody who lost their lives that night. Especially coming from out of town, you're thinking like it's like younger people like spending their money and you're just trying to have a good time, but it went south, and we're just thankful that we came out okay, and it's just tragic.
Axel Acosta's father also wanted to get in contact with other victims' families, and I also know that they're in contact with a lawyer and plan on speaking tomorrow. Of course, we'll bring that to you right here on ABC 13. Roxy Bustamante, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Roxy, thank you. Another fan who lost her life at the concert, Brianna Rodriguez, ABC 13's Adam Winkler, spoke to a friend of the teens today, and he joins us live from downtown where a vigil is set to take place tonight. Adam.
Exactly right. Good evening, Tom. We are outside Annunciation Catholic here downtown across from Minute Maid Park, where at 7 p.m. folks will gather to pay their respects, to mourn, to help pay tribute to those 8 people who went to a concert Friday and never came home. As we've seen throughout the weekend in our coverage, makeshift memorials and tributes have been popping up at places like NRG Park. We will be interested to see what this atmosphere is like here at 7 p.m. Of course, one of the 8 victims, 16-year-old Brianna Rodriguez. You mentioned her aunt described her to us earlier. A passion for dancing. She was a junior in high school at Heights High School. The tributes are pouring in on social media for Brianna, the girl that many refer to as Bree, calling her passionate, calling her a light of the world, high energy, and the dance team's hype man. She loved dancing. That was her passion. I just spoke moments ago with the highest ranking officer on the Heights drill team, a squad known as the Redcoats. She described what this loss, what these past 2 days, 36 hours have been like for this community.
It's been hard. I couldn't really tell you what my emotions are. It's been up and down. I don't, this is not something I've dealt with before. It's like a friend. So it's it's just weird. It's a lot of weird. I don't really know how I feel. I think it's just moments are hard, and I know tomorrow will be hard when I'm back with the team.
We thank Julia for sharing her time and sharing her perspective. These are questions that 18-year-olds should not have to answer dealing with this loss of life. Julia also adds that she knew from the Friday night football game that Bree was going to Astroworld Fest and was excited about doing so. Said that she's pretty sure Bree had been to all the other Astroworld Fests that had taken place. She loved Travis Scott. She loved going to venues like that, and I imagine hearing that is what makes this so tough to swallow. Brianna Rodriguez, 16 years old, one of the 8 victims who will be celebrated here at 7 p.m. tonight at Annunciation Catholic. We're live downtown. I'm Adam Winkler, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Adam, thank you. More than 300 people were injured in Friday night's chaos. 25 of them needed to go to the hospital. Mayor Sylvester Turner said 13 of them were still in the hospital as of last night. Today we spoke to a father who says his 22-year-old daughter is in critical condition at Methodist. He says she was trampled and suffered internal bleeding. She needed CPR on the way to the hospital. And we're hearing tonight from one of the injured in the crush of people on Friday. ABC News correspondent Marcus Moore spoke with Arturo Sanchez this afternoon. He's being treated for injuries at Ben Taub Hospital in the medical center. Here's what he said.
So whenever Travis first came out, he performed one of his opening songs, and like everyone else, I was pretty excited, but people started pushing up forward and they're moving side to side. So eventually I was able to like lose my balance. And then a guy with the bigger build ended up sitting on top of my chest because he fell as well. So I was like kind of trapped. And then I just started taking deep breaths. And then out of nowhere, I just blacked out. I don't remember anything after that. Usually like whenever someone falls in that crowd, like they'll help them up. But in this case, like I was on the floor, like screaming for help and trying to reach for people's hands so they could see me, and no one would see me. So I just kind of accepted the fact that I was going to die. And I did for a little bit. My heart stopped apparently. So I had a heart attack. And then this random girl, I guess who was like in the crowd, she was a registered nurse. So she saved my life, honestly.
Sanchez says he is just happy to have survived that ordeal. Well, one of the big questions still unanswered is why the concert continued as police and firefighters responded to what they called a mass casualty event. Our partners at the Houston Chronicle delved into a timeline of events and worked to uncover who knew what and when they knew it. I spoke with reporter Zach Despart, one of the journalists working on that part of the story.
This all sort of culminated right about 9 o'clock when Travis Scott took the stage a couple minutes after 9. At that point, attendees described a mass of people sort of getting close to the stage, particularly on the left side. And people described feeling sort of trapped, feeling crushed. And at that point, people collapsing, people needing medical attention. We know from the Houston Fire Department that they declared a mass casualty event at 9:38 p.m. This is about half an hour after the concert had began. The concert did not end until 10:15 p.m. So we focused on this 37-minute window from when first responders knew of the danger that was occurring at the facility. They said they had relayed that information to the concert promoters, Live Nation. The police department in Houston said that Live Nation agreed to cut the show short. It's not clear that that happened. Like I said, the concert continued for 37 more minutes. Travis Scott appeared to play his whole set list. His set was about the same length as it was in the 2019 Astroworld. So it's not clear to us if the promoters had followed through on that pledge or if there was some sort of miscommunication with the police. But a significant period of time had passed during which the concert didn't end.
And you can watch the entirety of our interview on our website at abc13.com. Travis Scott is known for high energy performances, and he has encouraged fans to rush the stage before. In 2015, Scott was arrested in Chicago after encouraging fans at a Lollapalooza concert to climb over security barricades and storm the stage. He pleaded guilty to reckless conduct and was sentenced to 1 year of court supervision. Nobody was hurt in that incident. Then in 2017, he was arrested for encouraging fans to bypass security and rush the stage at a show in Arkansas. A security guard, a police officer, and several others were injured. Scott pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct and paid a fine in that instance.